It's just sweet. They make a bunch of those. They're so cheap too. It's like $6. It's just like pay for the.
Where'd you get it, on Amazon or?
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, they have like Doritos, Goldfish. I used to have a Gatorade one, but I just had it for so long. Yeah, because I was like, I bring it to the gym. You know?
What color was the Gatorade?
Blue.
Best color. Best flavor.
Oh. I wish it would have been a little cooler if I had that one still. But Skippy's goated.
Skippy is goated. Remember how much Skippy we used to have every year in college?
Dude, so much that I threw it at the hallway. Dude, it was you that told me it wouldn't break.
No. That was Brendan for sure. Or probably me. I don't know.
Nah, it was so funny, dude. We had the fucking best time.
We had to talk about fart darts one time.
Dude, we do got to talk about fart darts. We gotta run a fart dart league.
That's okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sports Rant with Mike and Ant, episode 2.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, episode 2. Welcome back. We're happy to be here.
We did it. We officially have multiple episodes.
And it feels as... hold on.
We have made twice as many episodes by the time this is posted than we did after the first one was posted.
That's true. Yeah, this is like we doubled up our numbers and
From 1 to 2.
From 1 to 2.
Yeah, that's not easy to do, you know. It wasn't. Well, you know, it's hard. It's hard to go back to back. You know, the Celtics learned that this year, unfortunately.
With the way the Dodgers are playing, they're looking like they won't go back to back.
Hey, they're still getting me that Panda Express.
Hey,
so it's good.
Comes in clutch.
Yep. Shout out the Dodgers code for Panda Express. But yeah, it is episode 2 here. And I think we should just kick things right off with the fact of the day for episode number 2. This one hits close to home. Oh. This is about a special athlete, one that I told you could have gone on to do great things if they continued to down that athletic path. Of course, I'm talking about myself today.
Oh, really?
Episode number 2, yes. So the fact of the day is that 2 is my favorite number. And it was also my jersey number when I played sports, so it is relevant to sports. But yes, it's all about me today.
Wait. Before you go any further, I want to let everybody know that Anthony, I really hope you don't stump me with whoever this athlete is, because, I'm worried that you're going to bring up like a random gold medalist from the Olympics or something.
I could have been.
And verbatim, exactly what you said was, well, this person could have been a gold medal Olympics had their career not been cut short. So I just want to just throw that out there.
Injuries, man. My body was not built for sports, unfortunately. Okay. I got a tennis body, which, is good.
You're like classic man. I would have went pro if it weren't for blowing out my knee in high school.
I think I would have.
I don't know. I heard you were a great athlete on the tennis court.
Hey, I have more fun than anybody whenever I stepped on the thing, and that was my biggest strength as an athlete, is that I'll have fun, whatever. But yes, my favorite number is 2. You also asked, are you gonna stump me? Am I gonna know who this is? And I'm like, you're pretty familiar with this person. But I'm gonna tell a brief story about how it became my favorite number, how it became my jersey number. So growing up in New England, in Boston area, hockey is more of a deal, I guess I would say, like especially in terms of growing up playing it. Mm-hmm. So that was something that I did, and the first time I ever played was what do they call mites? I think it was as mites is what you play in as the very lowest level.
What age is that? Do you remember?
It's got to be like 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
you could sneak an 8 in there. I don't know. But yeah, it was great, and we were kind of given jersey numbers based on our sizes. You were like given, which it was the only level that happened at, but whatever. So the smallest 2 on the team were me and my buddy Doyle. Mm-hmm. Have you met Doyle?
I've met Doyle.
It's funny because I was bigger than him at that time, and he's like huge now. Shout out Doyle. That kid's a freaking skyscraper.
Doyle on the bus.
Doyle is on the bus. But yeah, so he was 1, and he played goalie way back when, and I was number 2 because I was the second smallest on the team. That was my number, and ever since I've just loved that number. It's very chill. It's like the poster child for even numbers. It's double the size of 1, as we were talking about earlier. And yeah, episode 2. It's my episode.
Wow.
Damn
it.
Okay,
interesting.
Yeah.
Back to the point about Doyle wearing number 1 as a goalie. I feel like that's a weird goalie number, right? That's like a offensive lineman wearing like a single digit number, because typically in hockey, like goalies are like in the 30s, right?
I feel like in that particular season he didn't start out playing goalie. He just ended up in net, and I don't think he played much after it, but he was at that point in time, and he was fantastic.
He was good at taking pucks in the face. Huh?
Yes.
Pucks to the body.
The jersey numbers really matter.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean by that's like a weird number?
So, okay, I mean, I'm just kind of adding football into it, and I'm kind of just like equating football to it. So, like, in football, like, positions, based off your position, you have like a range of numbers that you're typically supposed to wear. Mm-hmm. So, like, quarterbacks, it's anywhere from like number 1 to like number 18, 19 even. And maybe even not 19.
You don't see a number 20 at quarterback. Like, it's hard to explain because it almost feels like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like some positions don't wear that number, and if they do, it looks really weird. It looks really wrong. Like, I mean, imagine a quarterback wearing number like 67. It would just be
really bad.
It would be bad. But I think, especially the higher levels you go, it looks weirder. Like, I guess, like, when you're starting out, I don't know.
Yeah, like a beater would never be like number 70 or something.
A beater?
Quidditch.
Beater? What?
Quidditch.
You're talking quid. Okay. She's talking Quidditch. You know Harry Potter?
That is where my level of expertise is.
But you don't even, have you heard of Quidditch?
No.
I feel like you don't have to even know about Harry Potter
You've
to know
never
about
heard
Quidditch.
of Quidditch?
My Harry Potter knowledge
Quidditch?
is to the extent of like 7 3/8. Isn't that or 7 3/4?
9 3/4.
No,
9 3/4.
Wait,
train.
but
train.
it's like the sport where they fly around on brooms and stuff.
Is that where they're like battling the dragons?
Have you heard of
No.
the Golden
Oh my
Snitch
God.
before?
The gold.
This is
No.
crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
I've heard of like Gold Digger by Kanye West.
Well, that's completely different. Excellent song, but completely different from the Golden Snitch. The Golden Snitch is
I know like Gold Member from like Austin Powers. Or like
Yes.
Gold, yeah.
also separate, barely. No, basically the Golden Snitch is it's actually funny because this is something worth talking about in sports because it's kind of a BS thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Quidditch is this whole game where you fly around. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a basketball or a soccer. You
it's like
fly
a combo of a bunch of sports, but you're flying.
You put the ball through the hoop and you defend your hoop, you know.
Is it like the Universal Studios ride?
Yes.
The one
That is part of it.
the simulator one?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
in that ride, you're supposed to I think you're supposed to be going to a Quidditch game, then you get sidetracked, then you end up there for a little bit, and then you leave, and then Harry Potter's like,
Muggle admirer spot.
Well, this guy sounds like an
leave
asshole.
them alone, get away from them.
This guy sounds like an asshole if he's the Golden Snitch. Like
No, okay.
Why
so,
would
okay.
he be? Why would we support
It's not the guy.
snitches on the snitches get stitches, and you're not? We don't do snitches here. So why is he gold and why is he a snitch?
The Golden Snitch isn't a guy. So this is what I want to talk to you about because it's kind of a BS thing. So they play the whole game, and no matter how many points you score or the other team scores, if at any point you catch up and you grab the Golden Snitch, which is this little, it's like a fly almost, like it's flying around. It's very small, but if you get it, you win, automatic. Like you could be losing like 2,000 to 1, and you get the Golden Snitch, you automatically win. That's what the Golden Snitch looks like. It's kind of like that towards the left.
That looks like a fucking Pokemon character. Yeah, like that. That is that Pokemon? Or is
No, it's Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
That's what they have to catch. It flies around.
Yeah.
Golden
So-
Snitch. I thought if you looked that up, you'd see like a picture of like 6ix9ine on there or something. I don't know.
Dude, rappers probably have dropped a bar about it, the Golden Snitch. Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty.
It's
like,
iconic.
notable.
Quidditch is even more iconic. That's crazy. We're gonna have to get you up on your Potter knowledge.
Wait, did
I'll
you
pass.
explain it though? So if you get the Golden Snitch, you get 150 points.
Oh, I just said it was an automatic win, which
Well, this is why it's BS because
I said-
if you catch the Golden Snitch, you get 150 points. But there have been a few cases where even if someone gets the snitch, their team was so far behind that they actually still don't win. The snitch just automatically ends the game.
okay.
Once
So
it's caught, it
I'm
ends
wrong
the
with
game.
what I just said. I just said you
Yes.
could be losing 2,000 to 1 and you get it. And
No,
you win.
no,
So
no.
That's wrong. Okay, 150 points, but
So this catching the snitch automatically ends the game,
We like to
but
catch
and it's
snitches.
basically is like it's pretty OP. Like you're probably gonna win because like how could you be down 150 points? But it has happened.
well, I feel foolish.
So I guess my follow-up question here
Three
is,
levels of understanding here. M knows everything. I know like half of it. You've never fucking heard of it. So.
So
Crazy.
just I guess my follow-up question. So this relates to the football numbers. Is that what we're?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what numbers people would be in Quidditch. I was just saying that,
was
and
that
then
was
I
a
didn't know that
crazy
you weren't gonna
sidetrack.
know what Quidditch
That's a crazy
was.
tangent.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna be speaking this much. I just like that was
Welcome.
had to get up. Had to.
M,
That's our
everybody.
executive producer.
M.
Producer M.
EP.
Shout out M Wood.
Yes. M
Really
Wood
appreciate
out in Hollywood.
So whenever there's a
first
Harry
time she's
Potter
ever heard that.
topic, M's on it.
Yeah, Harry Potter coverage from M for sure. Okay, so we talked about me, not as much as I would have liked to, but
Yeah.
no, I think it could be a time to move forward a little bit. Let's see. You got anything interesting happened to you?
Yeah.
these
So
days?
actually today I worked the Chargers golf tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
Los
that-
Angeles Chargers.
The Los
assuming?
Angeles Chargers. They had their annual golf tournament. I think they've been doing it now for 7 years. Or 9 years, I think. I want to say it's been 9 years or something like that. But this took place at the Monarch Beach Resort golf course in Dana Point. So that was a good time today. Was there early in the morning. Had a setup for our live broadcast for iHeartRadio and AM 570 LA Sports, our local radio station. So got to do that.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout them out. But yeah, it was a cool event, a lot of fun. The guys really like to have a good time when they're out there, all the players and stuff. We had a weird noise. I don't know where that came from.
What happens.
But yeah,
Surrounded.
so got to be around Jim Harbaugh a lot today,
Sweet.
the head coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. And that dude,
That is a football guy.
he is the definition. Like, it's so funny, like how people say, oh, when this coach, he grabs the attention of a room immediately. Like, when he's speaking, everybody's listening and everybody's attention is focused on him. Like, Jim Harbaugh is that to like a T. Like, the moment he starts talking, all eyes dart to him and everybody shuts up and is listening.
That's
and
sweet.
It's really cool. And, like he's leading his group of men to, good things. He's turning around that organization. But, so yeah, I got to spend some time around him today. A few players, Denzel Perryman was out there today. That dude is a ball of energy. Shout out him. He used to be a Raider. Didn't know if you know that, middle linebacker.
I know.
Yeah.
I know my Perryman lore.
Yeah. Denzel Perryman, shout out him. He was a Carolina Panther, I believe, too. So yeah, he was there. I was around. I was in the presence of him, and then Scott Matlock. He's the defensive lineman / fullback for the Chargers. Big redheaded dude. This dude is massive. I
Yeah.
mean, when you talk massive, this guy is like 6'5", and he's like 300 pounds. This dude is huge.
So if he was going by the rules of youth hockey in Massachusetts, he would have been wearing jersey number 100. Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big dude.
It would have
Big
been
block
still
of dude.
stitching off numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers to his
1,000.
jersey. But yeah, so he was there and didn't know this, but he's a excellent golfer. Like, I saw a few of his shots today, and I mean, he was mashing the ball, and it was down the middle of the fairway. Cameron Dicker, the kicker. Dicker the kicker.
Yep.
Shout out him, Texas
Shout out
boy.
him. That guy's awesome.
Never
Guy.
knew this. Found this out today because they were interviewing him. He lived in China. Really random fact, but didn't
When
know.
in his life would he have lived in China?
I think I'm actually not even joking. I think he's mentioned that he was born in China.
Okay, well that makes sense because
But he's not Chinese. Well, I guess
I don't.
maybe
think
he
so.
is because he was born there. I don't really know.
Cameron Dicker does not shout like Chinese to me when I hear that name, like of any like.
I mean, I don't
Asian
really
at
know
all.
what he looks like, so I was just being like, he essentially looks like American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was wearing a
Look up a pic. Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
Real quick shout out. He helped me win a fantasy championship last year.
Did he really?
Yeah. And I was home and I went to that game, and so it was Pat's Chargers, and I was like, when you go to or when you're watching your team, but you have fantasy relevant players on the other team, you're like, You're like, go Pats and Cameron Dicker.
I wouldn't mind like a 60-yard field goal here.
Yeah, he had a good game. He had a good game.
Was that the game that ended like 3-0 or something like that? That was last year's Pats Chargers game?
No, because he had a good amount of points.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I had a lot to drink. let me look up how that game ended. I do remember. Well, okay, so the Pats were doing so bad last year that they had free food that day in the area that I was. You could just go like get a burger, or they didn't have burgers. You get like pizza or whatever. Yeah, that's what Cameron Dicker looks like.
Yeah.
Handsome guy. And so the food was free. So that kind of like you're like, oh shit, okay, so the drinks are like half. In your head, you're like, oh, the drinks are like half off then because I'm not paying for the food or whatever. So yeah, I had a good time, and we weren't that good. I think we lost that game, but Cameron Dicker was kicking them in. And there was this one kick, I think it was right around halftime, that like totally, I don't even think went through the uprights. Like I think he missed, but they gave it to him, and that was like enough to make the difference.
Wow.
So that was crazy.
Yeah, but shout out him. He was wearing it was actually funny when he pulled up for the interview. He was wearing a full, the golf brand Chubbies. Have you heard of that brand? Yeah, so he was wearing like a full, like, kind of looked like polyester outfit. It was a Chargers themed Chubbies outfit with like really, really short shorts. And he that dude's a ball of energy too. He was cool, so shout out him. But and then Lad McConkey as well. He's a baller.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he's a baller because he killed my Raiders twice last year.
Yes. Quick update for that Pats game. The Pats lost that game 40-7. But, it helped the draft pick. We didn't quite get Travis, though.
Will Campbell?
Hey! That guy's going to be awesome. He just screams. From the second he was drafted, he just screams, like, great football guy, like offensive lineman guy.
He's so good. His arms are this long. And he got drafted number 4 overall.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, like, my arms are longer than his, I think. I'm kidding.
I think the league is looking into allowing a new type of supplement that promotes arm growth.
He could use it.
Yeah, that would be, get him a couple of those and he'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he will be without it, though. He's got enough arm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did today. I worked all day today, and that was a fun event. It was cool. They put on a good little show.
Well, I'm gonna go with a personal story that is very much not sports related, so I'll try to keep it a little brief, but it is really exciting. It was a fun way to spend my Wednesday night into Thursday. So I live in the Burbank area out here in California.
Burbank?
Yeah, and there's this ice cream place opening. Kind of near where we're living. Not to give away where we live, I guess. I don't know.
Say your address.
We live at it was in the area, and we were like, we noticed that that had a poster on it that said, grand opening on Thursday the 15th. First 50 customers get free ice cream for a year. And right away we were like, we have to do that. 'Cause money's tight these days. Nothing's affordable. Free anything is a big deal. And like ice cream is something that you wouldn't want to spend a lot of money on anyways. But if it was free, you'd get it as much as you could. So it was really exciting. The plan was to go the night before on Wednesday and look at midnight and then be like, oh, there's no one here. Let's go to bed for 6 hours and then go check in the morning. We went at midnight and there was like 10 people in line. So thankfully we went to Walmart earlier and bought some lawn chairs. It was me, M, our EP, and me and M's friend Justine, and we were like, shoot, we got it, like get it going now. So within 20 minutes, everyone's packed up, good to go, in line. I packed like way more than I needed. I had like enough food to last me for a long time. But yeah, I was ready to go, and we sat in that line. We got in there at like midnight, basically, like 12, maybe like 12:30, and we were there for 12 hours.
People want the rocky road, man.
We sat there for 12 freaking hours through the whole night, the whole day, didn't sleep a lot. And M, it looks like, could you pull up a picture of our setup that we had? Or no, show the picture that I first took when we were 1 hour in. So this was actually on the Sports Rant Instagram page. I was posting stories. Shout out at Sports Rant Pod.
At Sports Rant Pod?
Yeah. And it was shout out that handles in Burbank because everything I posted on the story they reposted, which was chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, waiting in
They're all
line for 12 hours to be the first whatever. Okay, so then pull up the picture of base camp.
Base camp.
This is where we chilled for the 12 hours. this setup. So we had the three lawn chairs, and then we kind of had a little ledge over by that window, which was like saved our lives.
Actually had the best spot.
Could lean on it to sleep a little bit. You can see the three of us. My chair's empty on the right. Justine's in the middle, and then M is under a blanket asleep.
We watched Parent Trap. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Have you seen it?
The
Thank
Lindsay
you.
Lohan
Thank you.
Parent Trap movie.
Parent Trap? No, I haven't seen it.
Missing out.
That
I don't know,
movie's
man.
so good.
I guess I
That-
need to watch it.
That's a perfect movie
They
right there.
fence
Lindsay
in that
Lohan,
movie. That's
huh?
a sport, right?
That what?
They fence in that.
Yeah, fencing.
Fence?
There's a little
Fencing.
fencing going on.
The only fencing I've ever watched was in that iCarly episode. The
The fence and Benson's.
The fence and
Oh,
Benson's.
okay. Here's a picture of M in line. When that was after we got our card. So we get this card with a number on it, basically guaranteed that we would get our stuff. But then
Wait, so if you get this card, can you just like bounce and be like,
No,
I'll come
no,
redeem it
no.
later?
no, they were like, you need to stay for 3 more
And
hours.
we didn't get these cards till like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So we had already been there for a long ass.
You know those workers, like when they're like, they had to wake up early for their shift, and they're walking over to their ice cream shop, and they look at this
We all
line,
look
and they're
like
like,
fucking homeless
God, I
people.
hope there's not a shit ton of people camping out today.
The cops showed up at one point. To be
The
like,
cops did show
"What's
up, but they
happening?"
were just like, what is this?
Yeah.
We told them, and they thought it was awesome. Here's a picture of afterwards when it was successful. We got our free pass and our ice cream. They did make us pay for the ice cream, though. It starts next week. I know. I was telling...
I know you just waited in line for 85 hours for this free ice cream, but the first one is not free.
Thank you for camping out for the privilege to buy our ice cream. And that's a small, that's what we're
actually
going to be getting.
crazy.
That's a good
Crazy.
portion.
Here's your $11 ice cream for each dollar represents every hour you spent in the blistering cold of Burbank.
It
Yeah,
was
we got
crazy.
Played. We got played.
And then there's a video of us in line. I don't know if you want to maybe edit that in later, but we can move on. We've been
Bonus.
chatting about ice cream for a minute, but damn it, I love my ice cream.
No, it's funny because when you called me that night.
Yeah, I called Mike. I was like, hey, we're doing this thing. If you want to hang out. And then like an hour later, I was like, yo, actually, we're in line right now.
Yeah, and I was like, as much as I do love my cream of ice, I was like, I'll have to pass
ice.
on this one. But I did end up going to because it's right next to the Vaughn's, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah,
Vaughn's. So I went to Vaughn's later that day, and it was still packed outside.
Yeah, that place is super popular. And they have
Yeah.
great ice cream. They have great ice cream. But it seemed like that night you were maybe a little more interested in the margaritas than the ice cream.
The margaritas were talking back to me, and I had to accompany them, so there was nothing else I could do. They kind of zip tied me to my apartment and said like, no,
Yeah, hey.
yeah, it's whatever.
Margs. That's like up there with ice cream and Margs. It's like a big two,
Could you imagine a margarita flavored ice cream?
I mean, are we inventing that?
I think we should.
We have to delay the
It'd
release
be
of
like a
this.
sorbet, right?
We're delaying the release of this episode while we develop and release
Yeah.
margarita ice cream, and then once it's patented, we'll submit this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to move on to a recap of round 2?
Yes, of the NBA playoffs.
NBA playoffs round 2
So
did not go the way that I don't think anyone, if anyone, well, I'm sure people did, but like picking this Final Four is kind of crazy.
it's
a
funny.
lot
I
of
had a
upsets.
conversation today with my coworker, and I said, "Could you imagine 6 months ago I told you it was going to be OKC and the Timberwolves, which OKC, okay, I guess you get. Timberwolves, they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. Like, okay, but now. And then on the other side, it was going to be the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
I would have laughed in your face, and I would have said, you're crazy.
That's the kind of matchup that you would be, or I would be so excited for and like love if only it didn't come at the cost of like my team was a favorite and didn't make it. You know, like if we were bad or if we were like the 8th seed and didn't make it, I'd be like, oh, this is sick. You know, the top seeds didn't make it, but now I'm just like, shit.
Did you see that that stat about the Knicks? I forget what exactly their record was, but combined against like the 4 best teams in the NBA, they were like a combined 1 in 12 against the top 4 teams in the NBA. And everybody's knock against the Knicks was like, they can't beat the good teams. There's no way they're getting past the first round. And what did they do?
We were not playing like a good team, I'll say. And that was even before, which we can get into now, finally, the Tatum injury. I do think it pains me to admit, but I do think we were at a point in that game where it was probably going to be 3-1 no matter what. Like, we needed kind of a miracle to win that, and we got the exact opposite of a miracle in a Tatum gruesome injury. It was like hitting us while we were down. And I think I've had some time to cool down and, like, you know, accept the fact that Tatum got hurt. Like, we filmed the first episode like right after that happened, and I had a lot of like emotion. We didn't quite have time to go over it, but I did write out a whole thing. I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but basically, you know, the Tatum thing sucks. It sucks to see a player that's, you know, a perennial all NBA player go down as they're entering or before they've even entered their prime with such a serious injury that has implications on the rest of your career. It sucks for the city of Boston because, you know, Tatum's such a big deal to us. We love him. He's been so good to us. He's been like the perfect ideal superstar, you know, and as much as he gets the hate, he doesn't actually do any drama, contribute to anything. Like, he's a good dad, you know. It's like he's a good guy. And I do think that the whole like hate, like the bandwagon of hating on Jason Tatum has as much, if not more, to do with Boston than it does to do with him. And like, I accept it. And like, sometimes it's funny. Good amount of times it can be pretty funny, but like, it's a little annoying to not have him be acknowledged when he is as good as he is. And then all that hate and like talking shit about him just completely went away when he got hurt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no matter what, I don't care if I absolutely despise you as a player. I don't care if you're, you know, on my most hated rival's team. It doesn't matter who you are as a person. An injury like that, a blow to a player that is one of the top 6 players in the NBA right this second. Top 6.
Right this second, he might. I mean, he can't even. I don't think he can walk right now.
Yeah,
So.
well, right this second, no. But
top 6. I mean, who? I mean, if we're gonna go over the top 5, then because who's ahead of Tatum?
I think I've got Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Ant, and Shea ahead of him.
I think you could try and debate Ant and Shea. Like, what? Like, they don't have rings.
Yeah, Shea's gonna win an MVP though. Like
Shea, yeah.
And Ant, I mean, he could win a ring this year. But anyways, besides the point.
But Tatum could have an MVP if people had a more positive opinion of him. That's a whole other discussion. Keep going.
But I don't care who it is. An injury like that, a blow like that to a player like him. I mean, he's never been in the wrong pretty much any time. I know people like to give him a lot of crap, but the reality of the situation is it really sucks. And this is the worst thing in sports and all of sports is season-ending injuries and potential career-ending blows like this.
They're altering, like what could have been.
A little random stat here that I have pulled up because I was going to talk about it last episode, but we didn't have enough time. So this is only recording from 1970 to 2019. So we're missing like a good 6-year window here of recent. But 34 of 47 players who have suffered Achilles injury, Achilles tears.
34 of 47, you said?
Yeah, 34 of 47 have returned to play. So that means that there are 13 careers that ended due to this injury. 13. And
yeah. Shit.
I mean, you could even throw Kobe into that mix. Like, yes, granted, he came back and played, but I mean, after that Achilles tear, his career was over. I mean, you know, the injuries started piling up and everything. So, to make a long story short, what I'm trying to say here is it really sucks, this Tatum situation. And, you know, we've had time to digest it a little bit. Like you said, I don't really think Boston would have came back from a 3-1 deficit.
This particular series, it would have been tough. I think if we here I'll say this: if everyone locked in and played to the best of their ability, we could have. But at that point, there wasn't any evidence to suggest that we would. Like, we had a good game 3, but
yeah, it was a tough
game 5 was the most inspired that we played. That was one of the best Celtics games to watch in so long. I was so into it. I was having so much fun.
Yeah,
and
they
we just
were
needed
playing
that energy way earlier with Tatum being there.
Yeah, but really sucks. I hope he's going to be able to come back and, perform the same after a blow like this. But, just shout out to him. I'm praying him a perfect, healthy recovery. I mean, he's going to miss all of next year and, potentially the playoffs as well.
His dad said 8 to 9 months.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
every
Aaron
Celtics fan
Rodgers
saw
said,
that,
"I'll
was
be
like,
back
oh,
in
shit.
3 weeks."
Okay,
like-
that's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said that, and then he went into the darkness for weeks.
But no, I it really sucks, and I don't like, especially this injury. I mean, KD, Dame. It happened to Dame too. Like we kind of forgot about it. Happened to Dame.
And Dame has not looked like Dame in a bit.
And I mean, remember he missed the last month and a half, 2 months of the season due to blood clots in his, I forget where it was, in his calves. I think.
Tatum was always talked about as one of the most durable superstars, like an Iron Man. Like he doesn't miss double-digit games in a season, and that was kind of similar to KD. He didn't miss many games, and then after he had the injury, and he's had the best example of recovery we've seen.
Yeah.
They did get surgery by the same doctor, which is encouraging, but even then KD starts missing double-digit games and having more injury. And, you hope that doesn't happen, but just the thought that it seems very possible, it just sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, Tatum, you look at his age, he's what, 27? 27.
Crazy.
And
he's done so much.
That's a really young age for a superstar athlete, but he's also been playing since he in the NBA since he was 12 years old. He's been around for so long that there's a lot of mileage, and he's in the playoffs every year and in the postseason and adding up minutes. And at some point, you never want it to happen, but there's with that much mileage, there's a you double the risk of potential injury. And seeing it right away. It sucks because I've seen the Achilles injury because it's always been something I was interested in even when I was younger because it was such a weird spot of my body that I would always feel, and I'm man, that doesn't, I don't like the feeling of that. So
my Achilles feels kind of weird.
Yeah. But, so every time there was an Achilles injury, and especially when it happened to Kobe, I was really invested. I'm learning about it and stuff like that. But right away, right when I saw him extend like that, fall to the floor, and right when he grabbed his ankle, that's when you know.
There was some speculation that because he seemed to be in so much pain that it maybe was something else. Because maybe an injury like that or an ACL, you don't always see immediate signs of deep pain. It's and even sometimes guys will just look like they'll just be oh shit, I'm screwed. They don't even seem like holding the area. They're just mentally upset. Was that Dame who did that when he went down? I saw a clip. I think it might have been Dame. He just was
they kind of have a feeling, and and especially when they do the technology's gotten so good, but when they zoom in on the leg when it's happening and you see the vibration up the calf, it's just
it's awful. It's heartbreaking.
It's either a torn calf or a torn Achilles, and it's
the posture / motion of it kind of reminds me of the. Did I say this last week? I don't remember. I think I said this to someone. It reminds me of the Greenlaw injury in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
when
my
he was,
God.
which is also just such a tragic case too. He just was excited to get on the field and started to run forward, and you see that's one of the clearest snaps you can see too, in the video.
And you saw everybody's reaction on that sideline, specifically Fred Warner, and even Patrick Mahomes called it out during that Super Bowl. They were like, "Oh no, that's bad." Yeah. And you saw Fred Warner grab his helmet right away and say, "Oh no, oh no," and
sucks,
everybody kind of knew, and man, it's just really unfortunate. But so that's one side. Is there any other piece you'd like?
I guess just to get back into the aspect of people's opinions / what they say about Tatum, stopping on a dime like that. It's I'm conflicted because on one hand I'm that's nice. That's classy of everybody to be okay, let's stop joking around here. This is serious. We actually do respect him and hope he's okay. But on the other hand, it's damn, this is what it took for everyone to respect him and acknowledge him. But I don't know. I do think that it's jokes and it's everyone piling on and having fun with it. I don't think
anybody truthfully actually hates him and
no. I could pull up the thing of all he's done at his age or whatever, but everybody knows that he's done a lot. I don't know. And also I think that the loss in Game 6 for the Celtics hopefully will go a long way in deterring the whole like Tatum super team deal. I mean, no one's gonna say it's a bad team, but like seeing them not win without him, I don't know. It just looked like we needed him out there, you know.
Real quick,
For it.
What do you do with the Celtics this year, this offseason specifically? Do you kind of
I
not tear it down, but like do you kind of move some pieces that?
I have M. Could I actually have you pull up graphic real quick? It should be the Celtics starting 5. So I just wanna, as we're transitioning into this, this is that game 6 or no. Game 5, yeah, the game 4. Sorry, was the
injury.
It's the last time we're gonna see this like crew on the court together. I think.
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain that that's true. And man, what a 5 it is. What a 5 it was.
a lot of scoring and a lot of defense.
Dude,
a lot of defense.
Kristaps was so good last year.
And this year, I mean,
This year he's gone. He has a mystery illness.
that like he couldn't breathe. Like,
Dude.
like what even is that?
He's shooting like 12% from 3.
From
This
my
series.
angle right here, I actually see a starting 6. I see Anthony. I see Drew Holiday. I see Derek White. It's actually so funny. I don't know
dude,
if it
I
appears
should have
there.
I have the shorts. I don't know if I have them in California with me, but I have these green shorts. There's this goofy picture of me wearing them. It was Beanie. Beanie took the picture of me like dunking in it and was like, "Bro, are you trying to watch the game tonight or play in it?" Which is funny. But yeah, no, I'm the starting 6 right here. But dude, like, so just looking at the picture, I would hope that we keep the 3 in the middle together: White, Brown, Tatum. I think you got to keep them together. But if I were to go a little further than that, I'm like, you definitely, I want you to keep Tatum and White. If
Whoa.
I don't want to get rid of him.
Whoa.
I don't want to get rid of him, but if it was between him and Derek White, honestly, dude, Derek White.
Anthony.
He's not gonna be a Laker.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Oh, okay. Are we?
Anthony.
Well, okay. Go. So there's no arguments for
Of the 5 on that board right now, the guy in the middle is the guy you would move off of?
No. But we both agree it's probably time to move on from Kristaps. Probably time to move on from Drew. Drew's contract isn't great.
I would gladly take both of them on my team. Gladly.
Well, I mean, if Kristaps can get healthy, and give us some picks or give us some players.
And
But
he can breathe during the playoffs.
I'm saying the 3 in the middle: Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are the core that I'd want to move on with. But I'm saying if
there was one.
one of those 3 had to go, I think I would never want Derek White to not be on my basketball team like ever again. I love him so much. When you watch, he does everything right.
I know. I'm a Derek White supporter.
No,
trust me.
but I don't want to lose Jaylen Brown. There's no part of me that wants to lose him. It's just.
Can you remind me who won Finals MVP?
Oh, okay.
Derek White did not win Finals MVP. He was not the best player during that championship run. And number 0, who I mean,
he did lead the team in points, rebounds, and assists in that series that he didn't win Finals MVP on. But he did show up in way less games of it.
The guy won Finals MVP. Like, you can't. No,
Bro,
there's no way.
Bro, well, which 2 on that are Olympians last year?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
right.
Steve Kerr would take those 2 over him, I guess.
I
don't know.
highly
as
doubt
much as I believe that freaking guy. I wish with the anger of the Olympics fueled us more. I feel like that fire kind of died out where the players were supposed to be pissed about it, and then it didn't really, we get to the Knicks and we're not that mad anymore, it feels like. Really quick, Horford, it's expected that he's going to retire.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people saying he should retire for a year and then keep in good shape and then come back when Tatum's back. That'd be kind of funny. I'd be down for that. I don't want to lose Pritchard. He is on such a good contract.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe that contract would be very valuable in trades. I see also some people saying that we should bring back Marcus Smart and Robert Williams to have just like a fun year.
As somebody who
Why
is
not?
the #1 super fan of the Marcus Smart fan club, like
He's awesome.
I love Mark. I love
Yeah.
everything about Marcus Smart.
Oh, he means so much to Boston. He does.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
we can head on out.
Can we transition?
Talk about other teams if you want, or
Yeah, can we transition on the other side of the bracket because we're not
yes.
giving.
Well, we
this
didn't say anything
series-
about the Pacers. The Pacers are really good, and they look like dominant. And it'd be cool if they won. Honestly, I think they're the team that I want to win the most because it'd be cool to get see Halliburton get a ring. And I feel like Halliburton is the least of the people left that people would be like, oh, well, he got a ring and Tatum has a ring.
He's got the ugliest jump shot I think I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, we'll go to the other side.
Yeah.
So we got Timberwolves, and we've got obviously we have
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
City Thunder, yeah. Sorry.
So with that series, I'm actually excited to see that series because I want to just make it a point. I remember when the Lakers pulled the T-Wolves in the first round. That was the team I was the least concerned about, actually. And was I proven wrong?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there was a possibility of drawing the Nuggets, the Clippers, or the Warriors. I didn't want to see either one of those three teams until like later in the playoffs. And when we drew the
playoff
Timberwolves,
Clippers though.
yeah,
So
that's like
you were happy about the Timberwolves. You were like, cakewalk.
very happy about the Timberwolves. And there was all that talk about like, oh, Ant this and Ant that. I'm like, okay, well, what did he do in the regular season against the Lakers? Like, there was just no way. And the Luka hype was like very real out here, as you know. So this Timberwolves team, I don't want to make it about the Lakers because they're out. Like, I don't like whatever. But this Timberwolves team, they've only lost 2 games in this postseason. They gentlemen swept the Lakers. They gentlemen swept the Warriors. And this team is just built for deep playoff runs. And I was so blind to that. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. Obviously got taken out by Luka and the Mavs. But this year is really like them doubling down, saying like, no, like we should be respected more in the West. All you heard about was OKC. All you heard about was the Lakers, the Nuggets, even the Rockets at one point. But this Timberwolves team, man, they can defend. They've got their superstar, and they're a big, athletic team that gives a lot of teams fits and a lot of teams mismatches. Rudy Gobert, talk about one player that's absolutely hated, and I have made a lot of jokes about Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Tell me
Some
right
players
now.
are just fun to hate, which is also like the Tatum thing. I can get as
Yeah.
someone who doesn't do that, but like I get why people would. Rudy Gobert is fun to hate.
Rudy Gobert is very fun to hate. But I've been saying this for like a couple years now, like especially, with the Lakers not being able to defend Jokic and, big guys, and they've lacked a big guy. I'm telling you right now, I would take Rudy Gobert on my team right this second.
Oh my! The Lakers would love to have him.
And
The
there's
Lakers
a lot of
need a
teams.
center.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams, and I mean he's really shown out this postseason.
He's like a great defender and a great rebounder. There's a center for you,
and he's just
That's what
casually
that's what
giving you
want.
20-point
Yeah,
games
yeah,
just
yeah.
randomly. But
He's perfect guy to have in your center spot.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't need like stretching the floor,
Yeah.
spacing
and
from the center position. Yeah.
you've got really good defenders. Jaden McDaniels is obviously a stud. Who
Lock down.
the Lakers actually traded Jaden McDaniels. I don't like to talk about that one, but
Like
Julius
have that one back.
Julius Randle he's been the guy that everybody like had their eyes set on in this postseason because he's been such a horrible playoff performer. This dude is like casually averaging like I feel like it's like 30 points a game.
It's crazy what a change of scenery will do for you.
Yeah, gets that trade. I mean,
And they're both making the conference finals after that trade. The Knicks and the Timberwolves, pretty crazy.
and like an underrated piece that was in that trade, who is somebody I've liked for a while because he fits today's NBA, the modern NBA. Dante DiVincenzo is
I love DiVincenzo. Yeah.
He is a stud. He can knock down the shots. He plays with tenacity. He kind of reminds me, and it's funny, like the Villanova boys thing. They played on the Knicks
Yes.
together, but he's like the typical like kind of like Josh Hart, but like is a better shooter. Like Josh Hart, just they play with this tenacity, this toughness, and that's what this Grizzlies team is. Julius Randle, he's a tough guy, big guy. Rudy Gobert, big guy. Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards. Like this team is just like they're very. Like I
You
don't
gotta be
even
excited about the Timberwolves over here. I feel like I haven't paid a ton of attention to them this particular playoff run, but I did want them to beat the Warriors because I'm still salty about them beating us in the finals. But I guess I didn't really like that. Was like the series that I was paying the least attention to. I feel like because it went 3-1 pretty early, and like I don't know, it kind of felt like once Curry was out, it was like predetermined, so I wasn't paying as much attention to it. But yeah, no, you get me excited over here.
Yeah, for sure. And you know. This Timberwolves team, man, I really like them. They're annoying to watch because they play like with a slow, methodical pace, and they lock you down, and it's just kind of like, man, damn, it sucks playing against them. But the team on the other side, let's talk about that Oklahoma City Thunder.
See,
they are a team that everybody has written off the last couple of years, saying they're too young. They're not experienced enough. You know, what is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? What is all this
behind the aura? What is he?
This OKC team is on a rampage right now, and I don't see any team really getting in their way. Yes, they had a 7-game series against the Nuggets, but
I was on the Nuggets train. I wanted to see them win it all just because the resurgence of like Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook being on that team. I was like, I want to see those guys pull it off. But yeah, they were manhandled in Game 7 for sure.
And the funny thing is, there was like that picture about Shea walking off the court in Game 6 when he's like smiling. He's just
Dude,
smiling. He knew, like, you know, like when like the Dodgers.
If Tatum did that shit though, like it'd be over. It'd be freaking over, dude. No.
I got you today.
Yes.
But this Oklahoma City team, man, they can score like nobody's business. And realistically, the Timberwolves are a very good defensive team, and they've got all the right pieces to win a championship. Like, don't count out the Timberwolves. But this Oklahoma City team, I just don't know if the Jaden McDaniels, Ant Edwards, Julius Randle is going to be enough to stop that offensive powerhouse that they've got going on over there.
Do you think any team left could stop them? Is that your pick?
I think
sounds like it's your pick.
I think we'll get into our picks in a second, and I'd kind of like to do that, like what we.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, no spoilers.
No spoilers. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, this is going to be an intriguing matchup just due to the fact that they're polar opposites. The Timberwolves haven't been putting up insane amount of points this postseason run, and they haven't faced the greatest defensive teams, the Warriors, the Lakers, like not great defensive teams, but they're not putting the offensive output that kind of blows you away and says like, oh my God, no, they can put up 130 against anybody. The OKC Thunder, on the other hand, they can put up 130, they can put up 150 against anybody that they want. And I think...
So you're saying that the unstoppable force is meeting the immovable object.
I think that may be
classic.
the case.
That's going to be a great series.
But unfortunately, like today's NBA is, and it's the modern new NBA, if you can't keep up scoring-wise, I just don't see how you can get a team in a 7-game series. I don't see the blueprint on. They haven't been great offensively against bad defensive teams, and OKC is not a bad defensive team. They're a good defensive team. I mean, they kind of get a little lackadaisical sometimes when they're
lackadaisical.
Lackadaisical. That should have been our vocal warm-up.
Yeah. Yes.
But they're putting up 140, 130. It's like I just don't
stop. Yeah.
I don't know. So
it's gonna be a great series. So we're recording right now, Monday, May 19th. It was the first day without playoff basketball in a while, and I felt it, man. Yeah. I was like, when's the game? Oh, when's the game? Oh,
no.
I just want to watch some basketball. It's been great. It's been a great playoffs. It's been very exciting.
And it's good to have teams like the Thunder. And
yeah,
as much as I'm a big market believer and supporter and all that, like, it's good to see Indiana. And
it's good. The underdogs, the small market, I'm all about that, unless they're against Boston. But we had New York, so screw that. Yeah, I'll also say congrats to New York Knicks fans for winning the championship. At least it's what they're acting like. To throw a little shade out there. But no, like the fans were respectful about the Tatum thing. The players definitely were, like Cat and Brunson. Like I've seen Celtics people be like, I'll never hate on them a day in my life because they've been so chill about it. And freaking Ben Stiller has been so chill about it too on like Twitter. Shout out Ben.
Great actor.
Benny boy, yeah, great actor. And could you pull up the graphic that says, it says WWE preview. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's been posted a lot. The WWE did a promo one time. It was like Logan Paul and LA Knight, and they were in the Garden, and I think it was last year during the playoffs when they were. Did they meet in the playoffs last year? I think that's what it was. The Knicks and the Pacers.
The Knicks and Pacers.
Yeah, and so they had this moment. It's a little edited. They weren't that close, but they were like across the ring, and Brunson had a chair, and they're like literally face to face, and then everyone's been like, "Oh, the WWE predicted this." Like, "Oh, like." It really is scripted, like, oh, but no, I think it's so cool that they had that moment and then we're getting the playoffs. I love that. Yeah. Just shout out that moment. I think it's really cool.
Really, really exciting.
If Brunson hit him with a chair, that would have been crazy. It might happen. But yeah, no,
I think
this
a Knicks fan will throw a chair at anybody.
Yeah, right?
They're playing against.
Well, you saw the video, the guy with the Halliburton jersey getting messed up.
Whatever.
People are like, well, he deserves it for going there after that game in the jersey. I'm like, what?
Be respectful, man.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy the game.
Like I don't like. You can mess with him, but like don't like assault him. Like you can talk shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's kind of there for a reason. Like you don't want to
course.
beat the guy up or whatever.
Of course. All right, let's get into our playoff predictions, that are conference finals predictions. So on the East, we've got the Pacers going up against the Knicks. In the West, we've got the Timberwolves going up against the Thunder. Okay, so I'll start with you. We can maybe go series.
Really quick, do you know who gets home court advantage in those series? I think
OKC and the Knicks.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? Should we do Eastern Conference first?
Yes, let's do Eastern Conference first.
All right. I'm saying Pacers in 6. Yeah, I'm picking the Pacers.
Wow.
I'm picking I'm picking them in 6. I think if they were to win the series, it would be a quick. They'd want to do it quick because you don't want to end up back at the Garden.
So then that would mean that. Would that game be in New York?
Yeah, because they don't have home. No, the Pacers don't have home court, so Game 6 would be at Pacers.
Okay.
So they would just need to steal one away game and win.
They would have to steal 2 games in the Garden.
Wait, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2 Garden games. No.
Yeah.
No, because the first 2 would be the Garden, then 2 in Indiana they'd win, and then they'd win the Game 6 in Indiana. So there's 1 Garden game. Okay. I think they could steal a Garden game.
Still one.
Maybe if like Ben Stiller like sleeps in by accident and misses the game. Like
what about Timothy Chalamet?
Chalamet. I don't know, man.
And Kylie, is that the one he's dating?
His aura.
Kylie.
Will stop them.
Yeah, Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner is the one that Timothy's dating.
So random.
Yeah, pretty sure. One of them.
He's British, right? Is he British?
No. I don't think he's British.
He shall maybe.
I think he's like American or Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, Pacers in 6. What would you got?
I actually have the complete opposite. I have Knicks in 6.
Ooh, you think they win that Game 6 in Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't. I love what the Pacers have done. I love their run. Everything's been great for them, and I can't.
They're a great team.
I can't discredit them. Yeah,
Nothing against them.
They've been great. But
just let the fans know you guys did not win the championship yet. Just let you know, nope.
But this New York Knicks team, they've kind of got something going for them right now, and they've got all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, like Mikal Bridges was like such a kryptonite to us, and Brunson's just so clutch, and like it's so crazy to me to call someone a clutch player, and then you just see it happen every time.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, they just are then.
Yeah,
damn. Okay.
And I truly believe, and I'm just going to talk about last series, I think, yes, the Pacers beating the Cavs was in nobody's deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cavs, I just truly never saw them as a title contender.
Yeah.
All season long, and I know they had a 60-win season, and they're really impressive. I did not see them as a title contender all year long.
Tragic blow to Donovan Mitchell's legacy. He just doesn't really show up in the playoffs, sadly. Bring him to Boston. Get him over to Boston. There was always a lot of talk of him coming to Boston because like him and Tatum were boys or something.
Just because a bunch of Celtics fans get together and say, we want Donovan Mitchell, does that mean
there's
talking
there's been serious conversation in the past.
But what I was getting at there is I never saw the Cavs as a true title contender, and I never really saw them as a true threat in the East. Mm-hmm. The Celtics were obviously predicted like to run straight through to the finals. And even with the Tatum injury, I find the Knicks defeating the Celtics way more impressive, especially with all the numbers against the Knicks and good teams this year. I found that series way more impressive of a win than the Pacers, who are on a hot run right now, beating off a team that.
It was good for them to have a very clear victory against us in Game 6 too. I mean, it was good for them. I wish it didn't happen, but it does help because they maybe could have lost momentum after losing Game 5, but they got it right back.
Yeah.
Okay, West. What do you got? You go first this time.
West, I'll go first. So, like you said, the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Mm-hmm. Definitely, I think the best defensive team left in these playoffs is the Timberwolves. And you could argue the best player in this playoffs left is Ant. But then the other guy's Shea.
A different Ant, not sports rant with Mike and Ant, but Timberwolves with Rudy and Ant.
I would gladly substitute Anthony Edwards to come in for one episode, just one episode, for you. And I'm sure you would gladly do the same if
I
it
could
was
find
Michael
a mic.
Jordan.
That's fair enough. Okay,
that's what I mean by that.
Get MJ in here. We'll talk picks. We'll do bets and shit. Okay. So it seems like you're leaning OKC.
So with this, the Thunder's offense is absurdly good, like historically unbelievably good. Hmm. And the depth that they have, I know playoffs, it pretty much just comes down to your best 8 players. Mm-hmm. But the Thunder don't have to really follow that rule. They can go, 10 players in a full series, no problem, not even think about it. Alex Caruso,
Caruso.
Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams. They're so good and so scary to think that any game they'll drop 140 on you. But the Timberwolves defense has just been so good. I'm going to go OKC in 7. I could see the Timberwolves having a few games where they just shut out that offense because it can run hot and cold. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go OKC in 7. And I'm kind of scared that I could coin flip that one.
My brain is saying OKC in 7, but my passion and my heart and my vibes wants to say Timberwolves in 7.
Yeah.
Because I think, okay, so we'll do the split again, though. I'm saying Timberwolves in 7.
Okay.
Just for hype. That's what I hope happens.
So we both truly believe it's going 7. So we actually agree on a number of games.
I want that series to go 7. I think if it goes anything less than 7, it's OKC.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I mean, Timberwolves have only lost 2 games this series, and OKC just went 7 games.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of scary.
Yeah,
and they were playing in altitude, too. Altitude 2.
A little tired. Altitude 2.
Altitude 2.
We'll see. I hope it goes 7.
It's
going to be a sick series. I hope we get some cool moments.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are. And I think both crowds are going to be raucous.
Yeah. Raucous. and that is a good word. It's a transition to ending the episode on. We hope you guys were raucous listening to this. yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 Sports Rant with Mike and Ant. Tune in next episode. Mike's gonna talk fact number 3 for you, episode 3, and we'll talk about more sports stuff.
Definitely.
And hopefully ice cream too, if anything happens.
Shout out the Third Wheel Podcast Studio. We really appreciate it. Shout out M. Wood. Thank you so much for all your behind the scenes work. Anything you'd like to say to kind of close it out? Anything you want to say?
I can't wait to hear about Ant's ice cream flavor twice every week because I'm going to hear about it when he eats it and I'm going to hear about it when we record it.
Yeah, maybe I'll mention the flavor I get. It's probably going to be just chocolate peanut butter brownie every time, but who knows?
Chocolate peanut butter brownie.
It's everything you'd want in an ice cream. Chocolate ice cream with peanut butter on it and a brownie. That's
also
all
the
I need.
Achilles does feel weird to touch.
Right?
It like gives you like the chills. I don't know. It's
It's
like, oh,
the
I would
chilies.
not want to be
Yeah.
hurting my Achilles.
Right? It's like, it's not a fun thing to think about. Like that,
Yeah.
no.
a weird little thing.
funny
doing
bone
its,
of the ankle.
Doing its thing.
All right.
All
Peace
right.
out.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much
Thanks.
for watching.
See you next week.
See you next week.